Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been just about any place else, and you decided to come back here. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being here first. You know what? I just caught a glimpse of that. Look at how handsome he is. Look at that. Oh, wait, that's me, isn't it? Oh man, look at those cheekbones. Have you ever seen the likes of them? Oh, anyway, still boyishly cute, even with that gray hair. All right. Let me get over myself. Oh man, still hot. Long as you don't have to see me get out of a seated position, that kind of ruins the effect. Okay. Well, hi to everybody else. Anyway, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Um. Oh, well, I guess I don't have to do anything else. Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. All right. Anastasia. Welcome, Anastasia. So, let's not forget it is Princess Diana's birthday. Princess Diana's heavenly birthday. Diana would have been 64 this year. There we go. I don't know where that came from. I think that is probably something from AI, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. And who knows where I grabbed it from, but that's what I did. I snatched it from somewhere. I'm like, I may be able to use that again. But yeah, the People's Princess would have been 64 years old. Happy Canada Day. July the 1st is Canada Day. I neglected to mention it earlier with all the excitement of the sale of Meghan's Rosé, but it is just that it is Canada Day. So we have to say a happy Canada Day, not only to our friends north of the border, but there's a lot of Canadians that live here south of the border, a lot of expats on both sides of the border. Uh, and that's the great thing about having neighbors like Canada. You really couldn't have one without the other. There you go. And of course, the symbol, the maple leaf. You know what? I never really did learn anything about the Canadian flag. The Canadian flag. Okay. What say we here? Oh, in 1964, Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson formed a committee to resolve the ongoing issue of the lack of an official flag or Canadian flag, sparking a debate about the a flag change to replace the Union flag. Let me see. Out of three choices, the maple leaf design by Mount Allison University historian George Stanley, is that as in the Stanley Cup? Based on the flag of the Royal Military College of Canada, was selected. The flag officially appeared on February 15th, 1965. The date is now celebrated annually as National Flag of Canada Day. Okay, so February 15th is the Flag Day. Now, what does it all mean? Oh, here's a guide that gives you the exact proportions. I never seen anything like that before. Anyway, I won't go into all of that, but if you want a complete explanation, one need only go to the Wikipedia. Oh, I see the flag for the Royal Military College of Canada. It does not include a maple leaf, but it has the red borders on either side and the white in the center. But other than that, it also has a crown. Looks like someone with a suit of armor, but just the arm of the armor, holding up 3 green maple leaves. Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, okay. I still didn't resolve the issue about the meaning, but that's okay. Well, thank you, George Stanley. All right. Again, happy Canada Day. Oh, let me see. Was that a message for me? Let me see there. Oh, no, you're just saying hi. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Hello, everyone. I see your names. I'm scrolling through, but I want to try to finish in like an hour. Hey, Legs, thanks for joining us. Uh, 20 most loved countries in the world. Number 1, Canada. Number 2, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, Australia. Number 6 is Finland, New Zealand, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Ireland, Austria, United Kingdom. Number 13, Italy. Number 14, Germany 15, Japan 16, Spain 17, Portugal 18, France is number 19, and coming in at number 20, Singapore. You know, that's so weird that France would be so low on the ratings, considering they get over 100 million tourists a year. Same for Spain, with all the tourists they get. Um, I shouldn't suspect they would be so far down the pecking order, but um, well, yeah, I guess they have their reasons, but yeah, so Canada is number 1. Well, look who's at the top of the list. Canada, said one of the squaddies. As ever. All right, let's get on to as ever. Meghan, of course, sold out again. This is the thumbnail from earlier today. And what a triumphant day it's been for the as ever team, the Sussex squad, um, and just about anybody else with the most loose association with our faves. Okay, and Nicole Tanis, thank you so much for the super sticker. And also thank you for being a member. Oh, you guys, I didn't mention this earlier again because of the excitement of the as ever Rosé, but apparently the Facts and 2 Cents pedal is going to say farewell to the squad for a little while. She's going to change the focus on her channel, and she's going to focus on travel and some other pursuits. I don't know if you guys know this, but Petal is a very talented photographer and videographer. I've heard her speak about her work before, and of course, you may have actually seen some of it. And I think it's great to have a new start like that, you know. And even though on occasion she may pop in or something like that. But for now, she's going to pursue some other things. So I say cheers, and I'm looking forward to seeing whatever work she does, because, yeah, I'm going to make sure I still support Petal in all of her endeavors, whatever she chooses. But yeah, she wants to do something different, and I applaud her for that. You have to know oneself, and when it's time to make a change, it's time to make a change. Okay. Oh, let me see. I see that. Let me put that up at the top of the chat. A Sussex friendly space, Sussex Team Warrior. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have another thing open here. Let me see. I could remedy that. Shana na 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 na. Shana na na na. Hey, shana na 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 na. Shana na na na. 'Cause it's time to change. You have to rearrange. You know, everything reminds me of a song that was from the Brady Bunch. When there's time to change, you have to rearrange. Shana na 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 na. Shana na na na. That song is gonna get stuck in your head. Shana na na na. And I will be to blame. Shana na na na. Okay, pinning to the top of the chat. Okay. Shana na 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 na. Shana na na na. Hey, shana na 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 na. Shana na na na. That song is going to get stuck in your head, I promise you. All right. Next. Again, sold out. Napa Valley Rosé. It is a 2023 blend. That's right. This rosé is of a 2023 blend, in all likelihood aged in those huge oak barrels, aged to perfection. So what they do is they will age the wine, because, you know, you don't want it just like fresh from the harvesting of the grapes and everything. You want to age it a bit so that the wine will develop a good flavor to its good character to its flavor. And it's amazing that with wine you can have two vineyards, one on one side of the road and one on the other side of the road, and produce two very different, unique tasting wines. It's just the way it is. And I guess it depends on the type of soil and where you how you store it and everything. I'm still not clear on the concept. How do you have two vineyards next to each other, and yet this wine tastes more like apple with floral notes, and the other wine has more of a peachy taste? You know what I mean? But that's the way it is. Peachy with a little nectarine thrown in there. So, not all wines are created equal. So, congratulations to Meghan Sussex, as ever. As ever. Okay. And there we go. Needed some balloons. And the video, let me show you the video. Meghan posted a video pouring some of that 2023 rosé, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So let's dance, our last dance, baby. So let's dance tonight. Yes, that was just a very, you know what? That's what I didn't do. I knew it was something I neglected to do. I did not look and see if our Duchess has posted anything else. Um, okay, nothing on Meghan. So let me check the other one, the As Ever, and see. Oh no, she didn't post anything else on the As Ever. All right, but you know who did post something? Daniel Martin. Okay, about last night. Oh, looks like he's out with friends. That's what he's posted. Good for him. Okay, nothing about the Duchess, just him living his best life, which is good. So, all right. I didn't miss anything. Glad I checked though. And of course, Feminegra, one of my favorite online magazines, had an article about selling out in less than an article. I'm going to take a brief look and see if there's anything that was so poignant that I wanted to make sure that I repeated it for tonight. I went over it earlier today, so don't think we need to do it again. Another hour, another sellout. Meghan Sussex delivers products that meet both emotional resonance and marketplace discipline, forcing a skeptical media to chase a story it can no longer control. The wine is gone for now, but the statement lingers. Quality and authenticity move quicker than outrage. And of course, they are very outraged. Hi, NoVD, Ingrid Soers. All right. And anybody else who's just joining us, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Keep those thumbs up. Every time you push the thumbs up, it helps to create a place for Royal Sussex in the algorithm. And we don't want to be selfish and cause like innocent people to miss viewing Royal Sussex, right? So, got to drive the algorithm. See there, 2023 Napa Valley Rosé. Gosh, that bottle just looks so elegant. It's very simplistic, and I love the very minimalism that you can see with the label. And also, you could just see clear through the bottle, nothing to hide, just some very pure, tasty ingredients like a grape. And also the label with the Duchess of Sussex calligraphy. You just can't beat that. And look, you know what? I'm looking at the label and it seems like there is gold in the calligraphy there. And also at the very top of the label, seeing like a little sheen of a gold like finish on the label. So I cannot wait to hold that in my hand. Remember, shipments are going to start on the 9th of July. 2023 Napa Valley Rosé. Oh, and in case you did not have a chance to hear anything about the sale earlier, they were going in batches of threes, 3 bottles for just $90. And I think it's a flat rate shipping within the uh, lower 48 states. And that is $20. I think it's a flat rate, $20. So if you get 6 bottles, I think it's still $20. It does not change. But yeah, it's exciting. If you're not going to be at home for your delivery, I'm just going to caution you. I hope your wine is not sitting out in direct sunlight because the heat while the wine is in the bottle could hurt the product. So that is not a good idea for any type of wine. So if you can arrange to have someone to scoop it up for you, so a neighbor or whatever, or just try to be at home that day so you don't miss it. But it's not good for it to sit out in the heat. I just read about that. Okay. And so the description, a delicately balanced rosé with soft notes of stone fruit, gentle minerality, and a lasting finish, reminiscent of the finest provincial styles, and of course is crisp, pale in color, and effortlessly elegant. And lastly, crafted for slow afternoons and golden hour gatherings. And you guys know what the golden hour is, right? The golden hour is that time in the very start of the evening sunset, and when that golden light washes over your face, I mean, everybody looks like they're about 30 something, right? Also, the golden hour architecture looks amazing around sunset, especially big cities with skyscrapers and such. That's one of the best times to photograph a city is during those hours just before sunset, or the hour, maybe the golden hour, as they say, just before sunset. Um, but yeah, this rosé captures the essence of sun-drenched outdoor moments through its thoughtfully crafted blend. Wow, I cannot wait. TMCD says I can get any products. I hope so. Masha says that bottle is so beautiful. If I ever could get that wine, I plan to keep forever keep that bottle when the wine is gone. I'll pour fairy lights in them to display in my Tuscan style kitchen. You know what? That's a good idea. That is a very good idea. That would yeah, I like that. So, but yeah, I definitely plan to keep mine. But yes, I managed to get a hold of, I don't know, 5 or 6 bottles. Who's counting? But I can't wait. A leg says wine is often made in used bourbon barrels. White oak trees typically have the highest vanilla content. It is why when they starting making whiskey and bourbon in Kentucky, where the trees grow. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Well, that is a great way to enhance the flavor. Hmm. And you always hear like those, what do they call them? Sommeliers, those people that like choose and serve the wine. What do they call them? Sommelier. I cannot pronounce it. It's solemnity. Let me see. Sommelier. Oh, that sounds racially insensitive. How do you say it? Salamander. That's what they call them. The salamander. The wine connoisseur, server, and taster. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what they call it. Oh, it's a sommelier. Sommelier. That's it. It's a sommelier. 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 Oh, how the hell do you pronounce that? Okay, I'm gonna cheat. I am gonna cheat. I got to figure out how to say that. I am obsessed now, so I have to learn how to say it. Sommelier, sommelier. Okay. Sommelier. Oh wait, one more time. Sommelier, sommelier. Sommelier. Som, sommelier. Sommelier. That's how you pronounce it. It's sommelier. I knew I could get it. I wonder how the French pronounce it. Let me see. Sommelier. Okay, it's sommelier. That's how they say it in France. Sommelier. Everything sounds hot in French. Oh, they also pronounce, the feminine pronunciation is sommelier, and the masculine, sommelier. Sommelier. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to torture your ears for that brief moment. Yes, that's exactly how you spell it. Okay. Som u le a. Sommelier. Sommelier. I'll take sommelier. I'll have sommelier. Wow, we're always learning something new on Royal Sussex. Oh, can I get any products? TMCD. Um, well, I mean, I had the information yesterday for how to ship, you know what I mean? And of course I forgot the name of the shipping service, but yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. Take that away. Also, there are a few states where they do not deliver in the US, like Alabama. Okay. Did I just order the As Ever official wine? Yup. And what's the other one there? The way I planned an entire meeting around this drop, but I got my order for 3 bottles, and I can't wait to. Okay. Next. As ever, Napa Valley Rosé. I love this photo. I love this photo. I just love the composition of it all. And of course, as I was informed earlier, that is Jennifer Lewis. I don't know why I didn't recognize her, but yeah, that is Jennifer Lewis enjoying her As Ever. Well, we all know that that's an old meme image, but it has been used for some of everything. But yeah, that's someone who is really enjoying their wine. Now, I did not share this earlier, but let's see how messy things are. Meghan Markle's As Ever wine goes on sale for a wild price per bottle, but it is already sold out. What you thought? What you thought? Listen, it is a delicious Napa Valley blend. Some of the finer wines will go for $30 a bottle. Yes, there are some wines that like the famous, what did they used to call it? The $3 chuck, the wine that was available at Trader Joe's. Well, that's one experience, but this is in particular a summer blend. This rosé is a particular blend. This is not very straightforward. It was blended so that it would be perfection for the season. And of course, as I said, not all wines are created equal, and that's just the way it is. So $30 a bottle. Um, Obviously, uh, just as we found out that some people love the soft life and will definitely go out of their way to get quality cookware, those very same people will go out of their way to get some quality rosé. Okay? Okay. I don't know what they're implying, but I have gone out to dinner and I have manners and I make sure that I get an appropriate bottle of wine after I do some research. And if it's $30 a bottle, it is $30 a bottle. But if you get more than three, there are discounts, 17%. And I forgot what the other one is. Now, what is the other shady thing that they had to say? Now, I was just discussing this earlier with someone about this. Fans fury as Meghan Markle's new apricot spread oversells with disappointed customers who paid for orders, left empty handed, and offered refunds instead. No, it wasn't an offer, it was a direct refund. Everyone who ordered received the refund with the promise that you'll be taken care of later. So you'll be the first to know when it's available. How about that? Anyway, as one of the squatties said, they're listening, and very small things can be amplified into something bigger, especially at the time when the product first drops. Well, it was inevitable because look at it like this. It may not directly have come from someone in the Sussex squad. The other thing you have to consider is that a lot of media people, Carolyn Graham, among others, a lot of media people have also placed orders. Okay. And so it's not exactly something that could avoid, um, you know, people like that knowing about it. But because believe me, they were doing the countdown just like we were, trying to buy whatever they could buy. And I'm pretty sure some of them were successful and some of them will probably get that refund. So it's no way to keep that confidential. But it is a reminder that not everything is subject to public conversation. So just keep that in mind. But I don't necessarily think that it was because they were monitoring the Twitter or the YouTube or TikTok or anything in particular. But again, they are customers too because they want a chance to be hypercritical. I mean, look at how much trouble they went through trying to figure out where everything was being manufactured, where is it being shipped from, and how much does this cost, and then who takes it up from there, and all that kind of stuff. So if they went through all that trouble, that means that they're probably buying the products as well as we are. So it is unavoidable. I'm sorry to say, but it is unavoidable. Faith Manzini, good morning to you. Okay. Yeah, they need to mind their own business, but they, well, you know what? I'll show you later. I will show you later. This is part of a strategy that I'm afraid is they're trying to hitch their wagon to Meghan to get people to read other articles. That's exactly what they're doing. I like that. Did they expect Duchess Meghan to sell her wine by the glass? Apparently. Uh, uh, okay. Oh, sorry about that, Marshall. But yeah, that's the other thing is you will get your free apricot spread for those who were unable to get their apricot this time around. You will be compensated for it handsomely, I can assure you. So there's that to look forward to. Isn't that something? And just imagine that there are some of these so-called journalists, you know that they are going to get their free apricot. I hate that, but um, Carolyn Graham will probably put on her um, rebel flag mini skirt and probably smear it all over her face and her hands, and she'll probably do something weird with it. Who knows? Allegedly, or maybe I just thought about something else she could do with it, but I bet not say that. I bet not say that. But use your imagination. uh, yes, I won't say it, but we can all think it. All right. And then there's this. Check it out, you guys. What in the hell does this have to do with um Harry and Meghan? Do you see that? I'm not even going to read it out loud, but just take a look at the headline. And I'm just like, seriously? Now remember how irrelevant the Sussexes are. Remember, they have no friends, they have no influence. They don't leave the house, they're never invited anywhere, but yet they won't stop talking about them. And I'm just like, who's their friend? And then finally I figured it out. I'm just like, okay, this is an all time low. This is a low even for the Daily Fail. Yep, this is a low for the Daily Fail. They want so desperately to get eyes. You guys know the Daily Fail is doing just that. They are failing. And not just the Daily Fail. The market is oversaturated with gossip. And remember, people are not only consuming content like that from the um, tabloid media, there are hundreds of people, thousands of people on the um, social media, right? Twitter, the TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and some other platforms that I haven't even thought of, like Blue Sky. But there are people all day, every day, churning out information, especially gossip and opinions. So you kind of don't need those newspapers anymore. You really don't. They don't really serve a purpose. The serious news that they cover, you almost cannot even find it for all of the gossip, for all of the negativity. So, with that, I'm just going to say the Daily Fail is collapsing as we speak. All of those papers are. Their readership is way down. Why do you think they're starting to charge money for those articles? If you want access to some articles that really are misleading headline articles, they want you to get a subscription. They are desperate for you to get a subscription. The ad revenue is not paying off like it used to. And the readers, the amount of readers they have from one day to the next is way down. And especially the physical newspapers. I don't know what to tell you, Lord Nappyhead. You in trouble, girl. You are in trouble. Your racially ambiguous self is going to have to sell one of your homes or something, because you in trouble, sweetie. Big trouble. Yep, there's going to be a barbecue at Twin Oaks tonight. But you really don't need them. And do you guys realize that the days of having 50 million people in the country watching this or watching that, that ain't happening no more. I mean, the US, think about it, a nation of about 330 million people. Let's say a few years ago when it was about 300 million, 280 million. Well, if there was a big program or mini series or something like that, you can get a 50 million viewers easily. That ain't happening no more. That ain't gonna probably ever happen again, not on television. So the ad revenue has dried up. Those people that were paying for those ads, they were paying for access. And if you don't have 50 million, 30 million, or even 10 million, I mean, think about that. On a good day, Oprah used to have what? I forgot how many million, like 20 million people a day or something like that. She had a lot of viewers, a lot. That's why she was able to give away all those nice products. She said, well, there's 300 people in my audience, and all 300 of my people need this or that or whatever. And if you can't give it to us, then we'll find somebody else to celebrate. And you know what? It was less expensive than a commercial. And it's the reason why I have a Nikon camera, is because I saw it on Oprah's Favorite Things. Now, of course, that camera is about, I don't know, 14 years old. That camera's a bit long of tooth, but it still works. And I only got it because of Oprah. So such is the power of television, but not as much as it used to be. I'm like, I wonder how many viewers the View gets a day. Huh? How many viewers do they have on the average day of the View? Can somebody look that up? I'm just curious. Seth Rogen, they say he gets more of an audience than all of the big three, big four news networks combined. And he makes more money than all of the people on television at those networks combined. He's the one making the money. And guess what? He's not on television. And yet he has this huge influence. By the way, I cannot stand that person. But yeah, he's the one making the money, not the people on TV, not like they used to. Creative Life says, hi, Baron. I was able to get 3 bottles of the Rosé, and I don't even drink. My birthday just passed, so I'll celebrate with a glass. Cheers. And thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I haven't drank wine in about 4 years just because I just haven't. With the pandemic and all, I haven't been in any social situations, so I haven't had the opportunity to drink anything. But I hate to say this, it's going to sound weird, but I'm going to have to take up drink. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to take up drinking. Yeah, I'm going to have to take it up. I mean, those bottles ain't going to go nowhere on their own, right? So I'm gonna, like I say, what would Church and Ellie do? I'm gonna help them along a little bit, right? Yeah, I'm gonna help them along. Thank you, Creative Life. Oh, Lydia Washington says the view. Oh my God, that's it? That's it? Are you serious? Mm, mm. A country of 330, maybe more, maybe a little less, but a 300 plus million country, and they can only get less than 3 million views per day? You know why that shocks me? Because in October of 2022, was it October or September? I made a video about where the Queen is buried. That video got 2.7 million views. That one video, the most views I ever had, 2.7 million views. So you mean to tell me that there are people on YouTube making videos that get more views in one single video than a national network television show gets in one day? That is shocking. That is shocking. I cannot believe it. Let me see. What is that? Antoinette Kennedy says 2.6 for the season, making it the number one. Shut the front door. Are you serious? That's the number one? Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this one myself. Let me see here. Because I have another curiosity. Since we're on the topic, I would like to know. On average, how many viewers did Oprah Winfrey get per show in her 25th season? Oprah was able, let's see, it says in the 25th and final season of The Oprah Winfrey Show, her final episode averaged 8.2 million viewers. The last show itself, however, delivered 13.3 million household ratings, specifically her what is that? Whatever episode featuring celebrity guests drew 12.3 million and 13 million viewers respectively. Okay. So that sounds about right. That sounds about right. So that was her last season. And Oprah was on 5 days a week and they had reruns. She had the off season. In the summer she took off. So they were live shows from what although she did do some lives during the summer if it was something special. Wow. Wow. I am shocked. I am just shocked. Only 2.6 million views on an average day for The View. And they are fighting to keep those numbers. G Louise. Geez Louise. Okay, well, thank you guys. This has been very informative. I had no clue. Marsha says people are tired of The View. I stopped watching it a few years ago. My favorite are Sunny and Joy, and Whoopi is a disappointment. Monique was right about her. Whoopi Brown knows too much to the man. Yes, exactly. Yeah, she does. Whoopi gives safe harbor to some people that I don't believe deserved that level of grace, and that makes me sad about her. And I think she's her time on the show. Um, yes, they make a lot of money, but everything gets old at some point. Everything gets old. And I felt a few years ago she just was not that into the show anymore. That's what I sensed. I don't know Whoopi, but I sensed that she just wasn't so into it anymore. But you know what else? I'm going to give Whoopi just a little bit of grace here, because Whoopi was unwell. She was unwell. She only just stopped smoking. She only just stopped smoking. I think when she caught pneumonia really bad that time, that was when she had gave up smoking for good. Um, and she was just unhealthy and probably unpleasant. Not that that's the only reason that she was unpleasant, but I'm sure it didn't help. So now that she's lean and fit and everything, I still can't stand her. I still can't stand it. And I'm not gonna watch it either. Let me see. Leg says exactly, Marshawn. Whoopi has contempt for very successful, beautiful black women. I understand that she had to fight, given her looks, but every beautiful black woman that is successful doesn't owe you. Yeah, there may have, I could imagine there was some resentment there. I won't say that that's the only thing that was going on, but I could imagine that there could have been some resentment there. Um, but I tell you what I've been trying to figure out. What I've been trying to figure out is, why is it Whoopi and Oprah don't talk to each other? Now, they did have a show where they said, "Oh, I thought it was something about me." Or I thought it was, what I'm saying? They both said they didn't know why they stopped talking. Whoopi and Oprah pretty much ain't talked since Color Purple. They could not stand, they don't like each other. And for years, like for instance, Whoopi was not invited to the, you know what? I'm not about to start. I done been on here 53 minutes. I see what y'all trying to do. We are only going to be on for about an hour, but let me finish my gossip. Um, y'all know, why am I leaning into the microphone and whispering? But you all know that Whoopi was not invited to the Legends Ball. And the whole point of the Legends Ball was Oprah had neglected to invite, I believe it was Cicely Tyson, to something. And she was like, "Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that I didn't invite her." And so she wanted to have a Legends Ball with all of these Black women in entertainment and historic figures that inspired other Black women. That was the whole premise of it. And still, Whoopi Goldberg was not there. And then I'm going to tell you another thing, too, since we gossiping. Y'all know that when Halle Berry was thanking all of the inspirational Black women that had come before her in her pursuit of the Oscar gold. How is it Whoopi Goldberg? I think, wasn't she hosting that year? She was standing right off stage, and Halle Berry did not mention her, did not mention her at all. She mentioned all of these Oscar winners and did not mention Whoopi Goldberg. Is it that people don't like her? I mean, what's going on? Y'all remember that? Whoopi was standing right there, and Holly Berry was naming names off the top of her head, and she didn't even name the person standing right off stage. Huh? Is that some tea? Is that some tea? Um, So, what is it about Whoopi that everybody seems to, have some falling out with her sooner or later? Let me see. You got some tea for me. All I'm saying is that when they did a remake of Color Purple, all the old cast was there, and no, 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 we ain't sitting up here gossiping like this. Are you serious? And why am I whispering? Oh my goodness. Diarrhea of the mouth. Y'all, we shouldn't be sitting up here gossiping like this. This ain't right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Listen, y'all, we can't be sitting up here gossiping about her like that. Now, I'm just not going to have it. What's that? Mmm. Mmm. Okay. Well, Whoopi ain't here to defend herself, so I really feel uncomfortable having to, I really feel uncomfortable having this conversation. So, hmm. Yeah, she was cute. She was cute. But she just kind of grew into like a bitterness, and maybe that's what it was, is that she kind of got a little bitter and short with people. But yeah, she was cute with her dreads and everything. Well, okay, y'all. I don't what's that? Okay. I don't feel right gossiping about Whoopi like this because she's not here um to defend herself. Let me see here. Yeah, she tends to side with the royal family, and I don't have use for that. I don't have use for that. I don't like her taking up um for the royal family like that. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm not gonna gossip no more about Whoopi Goldberg because, like I say, she's not here to defend herself. So we probably shouldn't. What's that? Yeah, bitter, bitter, bitter. All right, all right. I'm done gossiping. Oh, I forgot about Frank. All right, all right, all right, y'all. Let's move on. Yeah, yeah. She can be a bit negative. She can be a bit negative. Mm, listen, I'm okay. I'm done. I'm done. What's that? Now that's what I was trying to figure out. Does she have one of those OBEs or MBEs or something? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, you guys, Whoopi wasn't in the best of health, and maybe she just, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because she wasn't feeling well, maybe that contributed to to some of her weird moments. I'm just saying. Y'all know I like to give people grace. Some people say I'm too nice. Um, yeah, but Oprah was not. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg was the lead actress in the movie, so it's obvious her name should go on the marquee. I wouldn't expect to see Oprah getting top billing because remember at the time, Oprah Winfrey wasn't really Oprah Winfrey as we know her now. Oprah Winfrey had only just syndicated her talk show. It was like within like a year or two, Oprah had gone from being a local talk show that was 30 minutes long to an hour-long talk show, and then it went nationally syndicated, and it was Quincy Jones who was traveling on business, and he saw her while he was staying at a hotel in Chicago. He saw her on local television, and he called Steven Spielberg and said, "I think we found our Sophia." That's how that happened. Oprah, I don't think she had ever done any acting before that movie. She was as green as they come, but she was a natural. Just like Whoopi Goldberg, she had done a lot of theater, but she certainly hadn't done anything like a Steven Spielberg movie. Yeah, I think a lot of Marcia, I think a lot of celebrities are guilty of, you know, supporting multiple generations of the family and helping them start their new business and all that kind of stuff when a good education would suffice. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that have the wealthy parents that subsidize everything, including their dreams, and they just don't get a chance to fail before they're sticking their hands back out for more money. So a celebrity has to carry, I'm going to tell you, there is something about Whoopi Goldberg that she has in common with Betty Davis, and that is the breadwinner for the family. Betty Davis had to carry her entire family. She had the daughter, BD, I think is what her daughter's nickname was, right? She subsidized her mother and perhaps a few other, folks in the family. But Betty Davis' mother was like the Queen mother and Queen Elizabeth. Betty Davis made the money, but every possible thing that Betty Davis purchased for herself, including a house, she purchased for her mother. If she bought a fur coat, she would get one even nicer for her mother. If she bought a new gown, she would get one even nicer. Her mother lived as though she was actually the star. And so Betty Davis, you could read about this, by the way, it was very interesting. Betty Davis took all those roles that she took because she had to support everybody. She could not avoid it. She didn't have the luxury of turning down anything. If they offered her to do television, she'd do television. If they wanted her to do stand-up comedy, she would do it. I'm not saying that anybody ever asked her, but she would. She did all kind of stage and television and major movies because she had to subsidize everybody else's life. And that is what I think Whoopi Goldberg has been doing all these years is she's been subsidizing a lot of people. Are you kidding me? Well, that's because they just don't have a lot of material. It's cheaper to, I bet, put the view on the weekend than to produce and develop a whole nother anything. You guys, the networks are in a downward spiral. They really are. Network television is on the skids. They don't have a lot of time left. They will never be as big as they were back in the 1980s or the 70s. And of course, certainly not the 1950s. But I'm going to guess the peak for television was probably the 1980s. And then after that, it was a slow decline because remember, cable TV really grew incredibly big in the 1980s. And so that was the first time we had some alternatives. And then, of course, when computers got stronger and faster and people could stream more, well, people started streaming things more than ever before. And somewhere in between, you got the DVD and VHS rentals and such. So now everybody has their cell phone and you can watch anything, anywhere, anytime you like. Mm, yeah. Um, I mean, you know what, Legs? You could start with Whoopi's name change. Whoopi changed her name, and there's nothing wrong with being Whoopi Goldberg, but I think the name was really just like an introduction to comedy. You know what I mean? She was never a stand-up comedian, but she had a very humorous Broadway show, right? Where she did that one woman show for all those, however long it was. Um, but she's certainly not a stand-up comic. She's really not that funny, and she's not that quick either. She's good sitting there on the view with a joke here and there, but she's not as quick as, say, a real comedian. And yeah, I think that even choosing that name was a way of, I suppose, trying to assimilate into another community, even if it was only a name, and a way of detaching herself from the black community, from the housing projects or whatever. That's just my theory. I don't know it to be true. I'm just guessing that she was trying to be a part of Broadway, and that seemed like a good idea to give yourself a certain type of name that would, definitely sound very Broadway, for lack of a better word. Ah, Joy Amore, that is very good to bring that up. I give Whoopi credit for helping lots of black people in college, like Oprah Winfrey, but do not walk behind Whoopi. She Are you trying to say you might get a face full of dust? Are you saying that you might get a face full of dust and cobwebs? Let me see. Baron, have you seen season one of Feud? It centered on Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. It was wild. I could not get past what is her name? And I love her as an actress, but I didn't like her playing Joan Crawford. She just did not have the look. And yes, she did some amazing things with the character, but you have Susan Sarandon, the spitting image of Betty Davis. And then you have someone with those little small eyes playing Joan Crawford, who had some of the biggest peepers in Hollywood. Her eyes were huge. Both Betty Davis and Joan Crawford both had these huge eyes, and I just could not understand casting that person to play Joan Crawford. It wasn't a good fit. I thought her acting was superb. Let me just say that. I thought her acting was superb, but her appearance was too jarring for me. I did not like it. I did not like it. I'm just like, you're playing Joan Crawford, one of the most beautiful women of the day. And of course, that was old Joan, not young Joan. They were both, I guess, in their 50s when that movie came out. But still, you know what I'm saying? Still, it just, no, 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 no. I did not like the casting. I thought Susan Sarandon was perfect, and she didn't try to do a Betty Davis imitation. She used her own voice, which is fine, but at least she gave you the character. Yeah, at least she gave you the look. So yeah, I could not get past that. Uh uh-huh. Um yeah, Jessica Lange. Thank you, Hazel Jones. I couldn't remember her name. And I love Jessica Lange. I think she's a great actress. Man. No, it was not about a man, was it? I mean, I didn't watch the series, but I certainly know very well the feud because one of my hobbies is watching a lot of old interviews, a lot of documentaries and stuff, and a lot of the material for the miniseries came right out of those documentaries and such. Let me see. Lorraine Esmeralda AT says Whoopi had a great career. She had to work hard to get there. It's time for her to retire from the view. She can't see the teleprompter. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. Uh oh. All right. Sorry. I agree. I said that maybe 2 years ago with a friend when we were discussing Whoopi Goldberg. And I said, I just think it's time for her to retire. I think it is because I don't think she's so interested in the work. I think she shows up because the money is great, but she's not that interested in the work. And I know she's not. Whoopi Goldberg has a cranky, what do they call it? Cantankerous attitude. She is a grouch, and she has been grouchy for a while now. She's just bitter and grouchy, and that does not really that's what gets her in trouble with people because that's why I said I think that she was probably suffering a lot before she has gotten into this new health kick. I think she was really suffering, and she was very snappy and short with people, and she does not explain things clearly. She will explain things in a way where she just kind of, spits the words out. And I think that the words are coming out faster than she can adjust. And she ends up saying something offensive or problematic. I really do believe that. I do believe that her mind is thinking one thing, but the words that are coming out of her mouth is not exactly what she meant to say. Like when she got in trouble about the Holocaust. I think I know what she was saying because I've heard it expressed that way before. And I'm going to tell you, I really do believe that that came out of a documentary. I think she watched the documentary about the World War II, the Holocaust, and everything. And if you remember, she said, "Oh, it wasn't about that. It was about man's callous inhumanity to mankind." I've heard that before somewhere. I just cannot place it. But you know where the problem was? When she said that it wasn't about that. And when she said it wasn't about that, whatever that is, whatever led up to that point, that's when she got in trouble. The part where she should have given a certain level of recognition of the, things that people expect to hear, she skipped that part. She just dismissed it. Not only did she skip it, she dismissed it. And that's how she got in trouble. I don't believe she meant to say it like that, but she's cranky. She's bitter. She does not want to be there. She wants the money, but she does not want to be there. How could she possibly want to be there when Whoopi, at her own admission, is basically not really a lazy person, but she wants to be where things are interesting. There's nothing interesting about what she's doing right now. It really isn't. It's old hack. It's not a new project. And I think that's where she's suffering, is because she'd rather be doing something else. Uh yeah, Joy has her humor to sustain her. And Joy is actually very funny. You know, Joy doesn't take it so serious, although she does care a lot about things. She cares a lot about people, but she doesn't take it so serious. Whoopi sits there like she is angry. She is literally angry. I don't believe that she's as angry about whatever the subject or the topic is. I just think she'd rather be someplace else. Um, right. And the bosses humiliated her. Yeah, exactly. I think the words were very clumsy. I don't think she was thinking. I think she was trying to move on to the next topic, and she tried to shut everybody down with one last, remark. And the way it came out was just like, "Oh, ooh, whoopee." You know what I'm saying? I don't believe she meant it that way. And let's face it, there's certain things that not only you shouldn't say in New York, there are things that you bet not say in New York. Okay? There are things that don't go over so well in New York City. Look at how they're treating the guy running for mayor. Look at how they're treating him. He has been made a complete pariah because of his tolerance for things that people do not, well, some people do not want him to be so tolerant, right? And because he does have a high level of tolerance, he has made quite a few enemies in several communities. Communities that, in New York carry a lot of political weight. So, yeah, New York's not the place to make mistakes like that. It's not. But yeah, I think she needs to go. It is time to move on. It was time for her to move on 3 years ago. TB says they haven't restocked the other spreads. Now there is another one. I hope they don't take 3+ months. Um, you know, TB, I am going to just assume that there's a lot of extra added pressure on the process. And I'm just thinking they need to try to stay ahead of a lot of people that are hoping that they fail. I think if it was any other manufacturer, if there was any other company, that things would not be the way they are right now. But they have to get everything right because there are just too many people that are sitting around with voodoo dolls, um, doing all kind of card games and whatever they can to make her fail. So I would rather they take their time and do it right than to rush something to market and have some kind of thing. Even making bath salt. The person who was trying to sue about the bath salt didn't even see the episode, probably does not have Netflix. And while they were complaining about their injury, they were asking people, how can I watch that clip? Because they hadn't seen it before. And that is one of the things that comes with being very high profile or being the best of whatever work you're doing is that people are going to come for you. People are going to just make up things and then run to the lawyers. So I believe it was Mr. Paul Masson had a saying, we will sell no wine before it's time. Well, we will not ship any spread while they're trying to get in your head or whatever. I just made that up. But yeah, I say err on the side of caution, take your time, and we'll get it when we get it. But do not make any mistakes because they are waiting. Uh, yeah, I was hoping that the raspberries would come back, but everything happens for a reason, and we will just have to be as patient as possible. I mean, but it's not a bad deal that like with the apricot. I mean, I believe most people are getting a free jar and received a refund, so I don't um I don't suspect there was anything else that could be done. And also the website that they're using, who knows if someone has been trying to sabotage that, you know? There are people that are trying to do everything they can to prevent the Sussexes from being successful. And so we just have to have faith and try to factor all kind of scenarios into it. Um, but I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement that we do not want any mistakes. We don't want any um, mishandling of anything because that could only make a bad situation worse. So cross every T and dot every I. Uh, oh, okay. Well, she has a home. Where is that, in Sardinia, Italy? She has a home in Europe somewhere. It's in Italy, I believe it's Sardinia. And she said that she's trying to find a way to make sure that she has at least 6 months out of the year to use her home. 6 months out of the year. I believe it was the one of those CBS shows. They went to her home in the whatever island it was, and that is her safe space. I tell you, a home that beautiful, I would just quit if I could. I would just quit. I would just. Oh, and she has to pay alimony, right? Doesn't she have like some big alimony payment? I almost forgot about that. One or two alimonies, doesn't she? She's paying alimony to someone. That would probably account for, something. Oh my goodness, you have a farm stand? Okay, Legs, you have got to send us some pictures. Do whatever you need to protect your privacy, but we want pictures. Don't just tell us about it. We want some pictures. We want to see what's up. We're nosy like that. So, um, even though I rarely look at the emails, uh, send something because we're nosy and we want to see what kind of operation you got going on. What? And just think, I'm growing some wild onions, and I thought I was doing something growing those onions. And here you guys got green acres. Lorraine says, I send an email to as ever. Uh, uh, oh, okay. A version for those of us who do not drink. They said more to come. I still bought 3 today for friends. Oh, that was very nice of you. And it will make a great gift. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, you guys. Let's see if we can finish in the next 30 minutes or less. Prince William teams up with Stephen Bartlett. I cannot stand him. And Gordon Brown as he champions cause close to his heart on Diana's birthday as Meghan set to release her wine. What does this have to do with Meghan? Why are you putting Meghan in this article? Meghan ain't got nothing to do with this stuff. Why are we bringing Meghan up? So people will read it? So people will look at the headline and think that there is some adversarial thing going on and that he is, I don't know what the hell they trying to do except for get people to read about him. Nobody cares. He calls out Gordon Brown and Stephen Bartlett because he needed some kind of clout. He's clout chasing. You know that, right? He is clout chasing so that he can get people to look at him on his mother's birthday. You know what he was thinking? He was thinking that Harry was probably going to do some kind of stunt to get all the attention. And so he figured, let me overwhelm the headlines since my day starts before his. Let me fill up the airwaves with kids waving flags and Stephen Bartlett and Gordon Brown. I mean, he's got a macho man for younger and older people to look at. And then, of course, he fits somewhere in the middle for what I don't know. But yeah, he wanted to try to overwhelm us with images on his mother's birthday because he was probably afraid that Harry would pull some stunt and that Meghan with her wine on his mother's birthday, let me show them who the real star in the family is. Let me show them who could get the A-listers on their side. Yeah, good luck with that. They still needed Meghan's name to try to get people to read the article. That is embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed for yourself? Should be embarrassed. Let me see. What did I just miss here? Okay, I have a pomegranate bush and a peach and plum trees too. My black currants and vegetables should be ready this week too. That is so cool. That is so cool. All I have are onions, some petunias, some marigolds, some geraniums, African violet, and I cannot think of the other stuff that I have out there. Something that looked like, I don't know what it is. And a tree. I can't eat most of that stuff. Honeyberries have those too. They're my early crop. If people are also interested, people should check out Nanking cherries. Okay. Oh, all right. Thank you for that. All right. Okay, so there we go. Now, I promised that I was going to play this again, and I will. You might remember this from yesterday. It was brilliant, and we're going to listen to it again today. Um,
say a lot of people are saying, you know, why does it matter? This is a recipe, and it's just based on her own homemade jam, but it does send out a message. People think they're buying into the illusion of something crafted by royal hands or formerly royal hands. It's not quite as it seems.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think this is the gotcha moment that the press are hoping for. This is actually industry standard. To meet demand, she obviously has to outsource where it's manufactured. She can't set up a production line in her kitchen. But as I said, this is complete industry standard. If you look at Martha Stewart, she's had a whole career on building homemade products, food products, and also homeware products. And they're all manufactured in Pennsylvania, while she lives in New York. So I don't see her anytime soon setting up a production line in her New York kitchen to meet demand. And even if you look at the Windsor Strawberry Reserve, that's being sold on the Windsor website, that's not made in Windsor. Believe it or not, it's made elsewhere in factories around the UK. So yeah, this isn't the gotcha moment that people are hoping for. And it's actually just a smart business move, really. And if she wants to be able to meet demand this time around and not sell out within a half an hour like she did the last time, this is the only way to do it.
Oh, you're being very charitable there. But what about the carbon footprint? Here's a couple that fly to the Google climate change conference, stand there barefoot, having flown on a private jet, and they're flying jam 2,000 miles across America. You're not telling me they could make that jam a little bit nearer to their Hollywood estate?
Well, the carbon footprint is actually every single business out there. If you look at all the businesses, large companies, all the ones that we know today, they all use manufacturing plants that aren't in the location where the product was created. So it's just industry standard. It happens. If we're looking at Meghan Markle with this fine tooth comb, that means we have to open it up and look at absolutely every single massive business in the world and ask, why are you producing it so far away from home? Shouldn't this be produced in your kitchen? What about the carbon footprint? It can't be one rule for Meghan and then other rule for other global businesses.
Well, I think perhaps it can, because if you're sanctimonious about people's everyday carbon consumption, about we should all cut down on holidays, we should all be lean, green, and clean, and then you're flying jam jars 2,000 miles. I think those with glass houses or glass jam jars shouldn't throw stones.
Well, are you going to look into the carbon footprint of the Windsor Strawberry Reserve that is made elsewhere in the UK? We're flying that around the world. Lots of Americans buy that. More Americans buy that than people in the UK. So are we going to ask the Windsors what's going on there? Are they offsetting their carbon footprint?
Do you work for Alan? Do you work for Meghan Markle?
No, I don't. But what I am is a journalist, and I'm fair, and I like unbiased reporting. So that's what I base my reporting on. And I think that actually all the reporting on Meghan Markle has been very biased.
I love her. I love her. And now, that thing about flying to some Google thing, that was just so stupid. That was just stupid. It was a stupid lie. That's what it was. It was a lie. There was no such trip taken by the Sussexes. The Sussexes do not attend conferences on climate change and such. They don't do that. Harry's only travel anywhere close to that is for travelers. He's not going to the COP and the XYZ and all that kind of stuff. That is not part of their work at this time. So, and then showing up barefoot, what is that supposed to mean? He's like trying to conjure up all kind of imagery in people's minds to help generate resentment against the Sussexes and just flat out lying to do so. It's one thing if you just don't get it right, but to lie, blatant, obvious lies like that, that's just going too far. I did not like that at all. I was going way beyond. $2,000 miles. I don't think we need to do this one again. We did this one earlier, and it was a hoot. Oh my goodness. Did he pick her apart or what? There's Meghan sampling her wine. The Sussexes on vacation. More Sussex. Oh, what kind of witchcraft, what kind of wizardry is going on here? Who has just made a deal with the man downstairs? What is going on here? Is there something wrong with my eyes? Is there some filter in use? 69-year-old Kim Jenner. Is it Kim? Kim Jenner. Look at her. OMG. OMG. What is really going on? I don't know. I don't know. Someone had even said that it may possibly be done with filters, but I don't think so. Yep, I don't think so. Well, that's what the money is for. If you got the money, you may as well get the best. There are some people that have done some extraordinary work. I'm clocking cheek and chin implants. Well, whatever it is, she looks amazing. She looks amazing. Beautiful. I don't care how much it costs. Oh, it's Kris Jenner. I'm sorry. Kris Jenner. Thank you. I don't know how she did it, but she looks good. Oh, good Lord. Are you serious? Whoopi had to pay alimony to all three of her ex-husbands. And here she is trying to tell people what she thinks and what they should do. And look at how poor her judgment has been. I could see the first alimony payment, right? I could see that one. 3 times? 3 times? Whoa, that is shocking. That is shocking. Yeah, she looks like her daughter, right? Wow. Well, like I said, I don't know how she did it. I don't know what level of witchcraft this is, but she looks good. 67 years old. 69 years old. 67. 69. And of course, 69 is older than 67, which is younger than 69. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be shady or anything. Maybe, I don't know if she got a new hairdo. Maybe that would help. She just needs to, maybe she should just try to find a good style that suits her. And she could look like that too. Also, it's going to be important that she earns a few hundred million pounds, and she'll look just like her. She'll look just like her. TB became. Oh, thank you, TB. Now, I think you were a member before, right? Maybe you just changed your payment method or something like that. But anyway, thank you so much. Whatever this means, I do appreciate it. Anna Wintour is 75 years old. You know that, right? Anna is 75, which means that she has what? She's 8 years older than her. Yeah, she's 8 years older, I think. Interesting. She's older. Kris Jenner is older. Hell, what's her name is older. Oh gosh, what is her name? Oh, Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart. You guys, I mentioned this earlier. This was such a ridiculous article. The Daily Mail has talented writers. I know talented writing when I see it. And she is talent herself. I mean, after all, she edited Vogue for what, 20 years or whatever it was. She was a Vogue editor. She didn't look the part, but she was a Vogue editor. And she wastes her time, she wastes her talent writing silly articles like this one, where she says, Anna Wintour just retired, and I know that she felt this way because I went through this, and I know she went through that. And because this happened to me, I know that happened to her. It was a stupid, useless, nonsensical article that should have never seen the light of day. Anna Wintour is a powerhouse, the most powerful woman in publishing today. The most powerful. And unlike you, Martha Stewart is not leaving the business. Martha Stewart is not writing for a rag. I'm sorry, not Martha Stewart. Anna Wintour. She's not writing for the Daily Fail or some rag like Page Six or something. She is actually going up, not down. She has an office already upstairs where she will manage the complete portfolio of Condé Nast publishing around the world, not limited to a magazine, but multiple magazines around the world. So that's what she's doing. She's going to keep her clothing allowance. She's going to keep all of the perks that comes with her position. So yeah, she's another one of those people that when they're not hating on Meghan, they write about the man that got away, why I got divorced, my body image issues, my mother did not love me, my father did not love me, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, who identifies with these tabloid writer women? Who identifies with them? Who identifies with Sarah Vine? Who identifies with, give me another name. Who identifies with them? Who spends their time reading about their struggle with this, that, or the other? The only way to get people to read it is to mention Harry and Meghan. Meghan. Let's just say Meghan. That is the only way to do it. When they come out with a new book, remember that Grayson guy, the one who used to edit Vanity Fair? When he wrote a book about his experience at Vanity Fair when he left, what did he do? He spoke about that time that Meghan seemed to be confused about the issue that she, and every place he went to promote his book, he talked about Meghan. Which makes me wonder, this Mika Paris person, what is it she's promoting that she had to speak about Meghan? Oh, yeah, Angela Latrine. She's another one. I think so. I think it's Condé Nast. Let me see. Martha is nice. Chris and Anna have good reputations, but Alexander Shulman is evil. An evil sense of humor on women reflects on their face, making it ugly. That's why she hates Meghan. She's jealous. Yeah, absolutely jealous. And one of the comments for this article, the person says, brutal, bullying, vain, unpleasant, odd, and in Shulman's case, unphotogenic. Now that is the most offensive part right there. Unphotogenic. I tell you, it's a good thing she didn't work for Vogue in the USA, because that clothing allowance would have been wasted on her. Could you imagine them giving her a clothing allowance and all she could do is go down to Lane Bryant or what's another one of those stores? You know what I mean? Did she go to Chico's? Or it would be such a waste to give her a clothing allowance. I mean, what would she do with it? Even if it fit, it's not going to look, you know what I'm saying? She is not going to live up to the designer's expectations at all. She dare compare herself to Anna Wintour, my birthday twin. You know, guys, Anna Wintour has quite the reputation, but she did openly apologize for the lack of diversity, something Andre Leon Talley called her out about the lack of diversity, and she did address it. She didn't run from it. She didn't pretend. She did address it, and and she accepted her shortcomings. Um, and I did listen to Andre Leon Talley's book, um, Beyond the Chiffon Trenches, or whatever it's called. Um, Andre Leon Talley was very complimentary to Anna Wintour, and he was also very confrontational. He called her out for her BS. But I'm going to tell you, Anna Wintour was so worried about Andre that she had an intervention. She invited Oscar de la Renta and his wife. She invited Andre's pastor at the New York church, pastor, whatever his name was, and a couple of other people. He thought he was going to be fired when he was called onto that floor, but it was actually an intervention. They were trying to save his life. And they purchased a first class ticket to go back to, I think it was North Carolina, South Carolina, to the Duke University Hospital, I think it was, for their weight loss, food management, whatever you call it. They were trying to help him lose some weight. And Condé Nast paid for it. And when he needed to go back, I think it was like maybe 3 occasions where Condé Nast paid for it. Anna Wintour used to rent cars for Andre, not Condé Nast, but Anna Wintour carried a lot of things for Andre. Just so you guys know, I know that Andre had said some things about her, all of which was true. But there was the other side of Anna Wintour that most people never talk about. But she was incredibly supportive and generous with him until she wasn't. Okay, I'll just say she was very supportive of Andre Leon Talley until she wasn't. When Andre wanted to buy his grandmother a home, she arranged through Condé Nast to get a loan without any interest rate free loan, a loan that I'm afraid Andre Leon Talley would never have qualified for on his own. And I do believe one of his big faults were luxury goods. He didn't always get stuff free. The other fault was, I believe he was supporting a lot of people, including his grandmother. And so he probably went bankrupt somewhere along the way. And so he relied upon several of his friends to do things for him financially, even if he was paying for it. I don't think his credit score would have carried the day. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I have huge respect for Andre Leon Talley, but he wasn't necessarily the angel that he was portrayed. He had a lot of shortcomings of his own. And Anna Wintour gave him a lot of cover, which is why he still had so much respect for her. But at the same time, he didn't hesitate to call her out about the way she would go through people and use them almost like they were some kind of tool or accessory. I believe that to be true. But everything was about the magazine. She didn't just do it for herself. She did it for her love of the work. Her father was a editor and a journalist, and so that was kind of like the family business, and that was all she ever wanted, was to do that kind of work. But it's fascinating if you guys enjoy books on tape or recordings or whatever. It is fascinating, especially if you have any insight or anything for the fashion world. Even if you don't care about the fashion world, you'll be amazed at how things actually work, who the people are that makes that industry function. uh okay. All right, let me see here. Excellent moisturizer. Oh, not her. For Chris Jenner. Hey, you guys, why didn't you tell me this picture was still up here while I was talking so much? I would have went on to something else. Anyway, take a look on the left side. She implied that Anna Wintour had the same exit like she had years ago, right? Or will have the same exit. No, she had people line up to celebrate the fact that she was leaving. Anna Wintour actually is going upstairs, not out the building. They're getting rid of the royal train. I did not mention this earlier, but do you guys know that the Windsors have purchased not one, but two new helicopters? They have two new helicopters. They are getting rid of the train, but they barely speak about the fact that they're getting two of these helicopters. They cost about $10 million, if not more than that. I'm not adjusting for inflation, but I know when William got his helicopter that the Queen purchased for him those years ago, it was 8 million pounds. I would imagine they probably cost way more than that now, maybe 20 million. I don't know if you can tell, but that helicopter is massive. It is huge. That's a big helicopter. And they have several of them in their fleet. I'm going to say there's at least three that I'm aware of, and it seems like they just purchased two additional helicopters. So I don't know. Well, let me see. How many helicopters do the royal family have? Uh, I don't see the number right here exactly. I was hoping the AI would answer, but it did not. But right here it says royal family to replace helicopters after flights cost more than $1 million last year. Get the out of here. They spent way more than that for those flights. 170 helicopter journeys cost 1 million. No, 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 no. there is a flight crew that is flying those helicopters. Maybe that's how much they're paying for the fuel, but I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Buckingham Palace, 523 staff, 11.4% were from minority ethnic backgrounds. Those are the people that clean. Seriously. Well, I don't see the data right here, but I think they have a fleet of helicopters. Okay, what's next? Remember, the abuser accusation is often their confession. Um, I don't know where I got that from, but one of the squatties have posted that in the last week, and I thought it was so profound. The abuser's accusation is often their confession. Think about that. Meghan was accused of being a bully. Sounds like a confession to me. Breaking. Aides at Kensington Palace are telling us that the closet door is definitely ajar and could be thrown wide open very soon if it hasn't already. But I didn't share this earlier. Look at this picture I found. Who is that standing behind William, gazing upon him adoringly? Why, it's Jason Knopf. Yeah, Jason Knopf. He just can't get enough of his boss. Hmm. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see you, Jason. By the way, you guys, you probably didn't need me to share this with you, but I will anyway. Let me zoom in so I can show you something. I got another photo I want to share with you. And I want to zoom in. So that means I need to crop it so that you can see what I see. I have been so shady today. I have been super shady. Mm. Okay. And since I've been shady most of the day, I should just continue and I'll just try to do better tomorrow. I will. Y'all see all that butter? Do you see the butter? Do you like butter? I see butter. Do you see all that butter? Yeah, I guess if you get close enough to a person, you can have butter teeth as well, a butter tooth. Yes. What is this with the butter tooth? Why are they going around with these butter teeth? Ugh. Do you like butter? Would you like margarine or butter? I think somebody likes butter. Yes, butter teeth, just like his boss. Okay, you guys, I am going to finish up tonight with Princess Diana. I shared some photos earlier. I'm going to share some more. So if you need to say goodnight, go ahead. You won't really miss anything. You could just go to the end tomorrow and watch it, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. But this is an AI reminding us of what could have been. And oh, oh. I love this photo right here, especially when you crop it and you get the Damien, the omen. When you crop it, the omen disappears. And this one. No, how sweet, how sweet. Oh, somebody's getting ready for surgery. I shared this a long time ago and I dug it out for tonight. That is the exact same room. Little Harry guarding his mom, protecting his mom, scanning the courtyard of Kensington Palace just in case somebody tries something. And there he is, all those years later, setting up for an interview. And Center Point, that is that homeless place. Oh no, is that Center Point? The running charity. Oh, I think it's the homeless place though, Center Point, but maybe not. But anyway, there's Harry on that same staircase where his mom stood years earlier. The same place, same staircase. And of course, she's all grown up now. Princess Diana, through the Halo Trust, met that young lady there on the left side, and there on the right, you can see all these years later, Prince Harry made sure that he paid a courtesy call to visit her. That's our Harry, by the way. Thick as thieves. Harry always says, I'm sure my mother and Meghan would be thick as thieves. But right there, you can see how they mirror each other's actions on the right side. You guys, I am genuinely proud of Harry. I am so proud of the man he's become. In spite of all of the things that they were doing to try and shape and mold him into failure, it didn't work because God had other plans for him. Very sweet. Loved his mommy. Prince Harry, all I want to do is make my mother proud. This is why William was fumbling all over himself today, trying to be seen here, there, and everywhere because he was afraid that Harry would go out for ice cream or something and that would ruin everything. Oh, this is so sweet. I love it. I love it. And of course, Nelson Mandela. Forget-me-nots, the very famous forget-me-nots, is where the name Centabale comes from. Forget-me-nots, Diana's favorite flower. Another image of what could have been, but obviously was not meant to be. The Eagles jacket, in case you haven't heard the story about that, when they found out that Princess Diana, I think she liked the colors or whatever. Anyway, when they found out that whatever it was about the school or whatever, they made that jacket for her. It was one of a kind. Nobody else had that jacket. And because of the Diana touch, because Princess Diana wore it, then all of a sudden the fans were like, hey, and by the way, that's American football. Where can we get that jacket? Where can we get that jacket? So they finally made them available to the public. And let me tell you something, there was near riot at the store when they first released that jacket. But it was made very popular by the People's Princess. And there is Harry. And his mom is hanging on to him to make sure that he doesn't stand up or whatever. It was said that when they went to Florida, and I don't know if this was at Disney World or not, but when they went to Florida, people were attempting to let them walk right through. And Diana said, no, we're going to wait like everyone else. And so they did. They waited just like everyone else. She was trying to instill a certain level of humility for those kids. And with one of them, it was more successful than the other. Good night, Benny Blair. Thank you for joining us. And there, Diana's wearing that jacket. Even there on that cover, she's wearing that jacket. She loved that jacket. Diana's daring new life. You know, it makes me sad when I see those headlines, because now that we understand more about that institution, those headlines were not just headlines, but they were part of shaping an image for Diana, courtesy of the palace, courtesy of Charles and Camilla and that guy, that their spin doctor, Bolin, or whatever his name was. Was it Mark Bolin? Yeah. And my favorite event for Princess Diana, a night in Chicago at a gala thrown in her honor by the Northwestern University. She was invited, and the president of the university asked her what color was she going to wear. And she just smiled. She did not respond. She wanted to surprise him, but she had already arranged to wear the Versace gown in purple, which is their school colors, purple and white. One of the things that demonstrates is that even without being part of the institution, when you know, and Diana had done enough to know exactly what was expected. Even if she wasn't Princess Diana, she would have been Lady Diana Spencer, and she would have conducted herself as a proper lady would. And that's exactly what she did. Three helicopters. Thank you for doing the research. So maybe they sold the other two. And this one, I don't remember which night this was, but I've always loved this photo. Thank you, Antoinette Kennedy. And here I just threw a few images together, a little cut and paste. You can see Diana laughing and having a good time. There's another image of Harry and the People's Princess. And of course, it was the 1980s. Everything was bigger. The cars, the boats, the houses, and of course, the hair. Having that feathered hair was a must back in the 1980s. George Michaels, Aretha Franklin, Oprah, and of course, Princess Diana. Everybody wanted that bouncy hair with the big waves in it. Huge hair. But I always thought the way she feathered her hair looked particularly attractive on her. And three random images all together. I think that enigmatic smile that she had has a certain Mona Lisa-like quality when she would do that little sly grin like that. Another one of her favorites, the USA sweatshirt. I wonder what happened to it. I did not see it at the Kensington Palace. I saw the Versace gown, and I saw a few other famous, the Halo Truss outfit that's on display, but I did not see the USA shirt. That would have been very cool. Oh, so sweet. Love it. Love it. Perlina Answer, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. You see how Harry is a natural leader? You see that? Damien back there, little Damien on the horse, believes that Harry has got the short end of the deal, so that's why he's smiling. Is that Thomas the Train? Thomas the Choo Choo? Is that what Harry is wearing? Oh, so sweet. That is very sweet. A kiss on the hand for the people's princess. And this, of course, is the famous revenge dress. That is the revenge dress she's wearing there. Harry at the unveiling of the statue, which I thought the statue was beautiful. I couldn't share the video with you, but take a look at the slides. From left to right, the little boy built up the courage to go and embrace. He wanted a hug from Princess Diana. So she leans over, gives him a big hug. And then after the fact, he was so overcome with emotion. See the way he's leaning up against the car, trying to catch his breath. And then Diana just watches him walk away. Success. He meant to embrace a princess that day, and that's exactly what he did. And that's something that he'll remember for the rest of his life. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming back. And I had fun tonight. I'm glad we could be together on such a monumental day. And again, happy Canada Day, which was at this point yesterday for some of us. July 1st, happy Canada Day. All right. We're good. We're good, right? Oh, you're quite welcome. You know what? I'm going to put a video at the top of the chat. I used to make a video for Diana's birthday. At least I did. I know I made one and then I revised it. Let me go to the menu and see if I can find it. And I will pin it to the top of the chat. Okay, that didn't work. Let me see. Again, good night, everyone. I am done for now. I will be back tomorrow or later today. Also, in case you missed it, our dear beloved Petal is going to change the direction of her channel. She's going to get into travel and I guess photography, maybe. But of course, she'll still look forward to your support, regardless of whichever direction she takes her channel. But I'm so happy for her because she is what do you call it? She's taking back her power. As you know, it's been very rough since election day, and a lot of people are changing their viewing habits, and a lot of people that have platforms, they have been changing their type of work, their focus, and that's okay. That is quite okay. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. You know something? I don't see it. Okay, let me try this. Nope. I thought for certain I had a Diana video. I mean, I do, but just not the one I'm looking for. That's a short. Nope. Oh, you know what? Maybe if I just put July. Duh. Nope, that's not either. Oh, I found it. I found it. Um, oh, I don't like that one. Oh, well, never mind, you guys. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. Am I? No, I don't like that one. It's been built up too much. Yeah, I don't like that one either. Never mind. Okay, good night, 631 of you all. I'm going to be the last one out. Is that okay? Good night. We're done. I'm going to be the last one out. Me, the last one. Okay, you guys are forcing my hand. Don't make me sing because you know I will sing. So let's dance. The last dance, baby. So let's dance tonight. Ooh, ah. Oh, I need you beside me to guide me, to hide me, to hold me, console. I'm losing my voice. 'Cause when I'm bad, I'm so bad. Okay, let's see. Baron, please shut up. Okay, no. Actually, it's Tony says tomorrow night you should show Petal confronting what's his face at the Invictus games. I watched that one 1,000 times. Thank you for replaying my new favorite video. Good night, everyone. Well, good night to you too, Tony. You know, I will see if I have that confrontation, but I probably didn't label it properly. But let me just take a look and see if I can find it. What was his name? Oh gosh, what was that guy's name? Oh gosh, what was his name? And I could see his saggy old face. I just can't think of his name. Tom Bauer. That's it. Thank you, Tom Bauer.
Part unless he works hard at it.
Okay, I do not see it. I thought if I put his name in, it should pop right up, but it does not. Let me try Petal. Nope, that didn't work either. Oh, that's too bad because I save everything. I just, one of these days I need to go through all of those clips that I have and label them properly. It would save me so much time. Let me see. What's another way? Maybe if I put Invictus. Oh my God, that was great though when Petal confronted him, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, that was great though. I tell you, Petal has done a public service. She has definitely done a public service. Yes, no good. I don't see it. If I knew the date, that was in Canada. Oh, so it was February. Let me try that then. Oh gosh, I got so many videos for February, but I don't give up. I could just imagine. I'm going to just imagine what Petal must have felt when she looked over and saw that droopy face looking back at her. I could only imagine.
Thank you so much for your.
I mean, what prepares you for organization for seeing Tom Bauer in the flesh? Whose flesh is unclear, but to see him in the flesh, even if it was like drooping to the floor, it was still somebody's flesh. Maybe not that of his own, but yeah, I'm not seeing it. But if I remember, I will try to have it tomorrow. Oh, I did a short, didn't I? I think I did a short. No, I didn't. I don't think so. I'm going to check anyway. Yeah, no, don't have it here. Nope, I don't see it. I was hoping that I had a short, but I don't see it. Nah, I don't see it. Oh, that's too bad. Let me try one more thing. Oh. Um, you know what? I got screenshots, but I don't see the video. And I know I saved it too. Oh, let me try this then. Nope. I got screenshots, but I guess I talked about it, but I didn't. Maybe I didn't save the video. Yeah, maybe I only played the sound. All right, sorry guys, I do not see it. Would you all? Yeah, I will hunt it down. You know, I don't give up. I will hunt it down. But in the meantime, I know what we can enjoy. How about the professor? How about the professor? Huh? You guys want to hear the professor again? Um, let me get it ready. Let me get it ready. We love the professor. Okay. Ooh.
Personality. Rachel Casper, you walking antique store. You really fired up your rotary thoughts and logged onto the internet and called Prince Harry. Yes, Prince Harry, a washed up pariah. Like you're not sitting in front of Desperation era wallpaper, looking like a haunted doll collector. Let's start with your audacity. because it's hand-stitched and delusional. You, a woman dressed up like a church organist who moonlights at Civil War reenactments, thought you were qualified to declare someone irrelevant? Honey, your entire existence looks like it smells like mothballs and expired Avon perfume. You've got a wardrobe straight out of a dusty attic and a world view to match. You're out here peddling books named Cup, which sounds less like a novel and more like a random object somebody grabs when they've lost the plot. Cup and Cup the Continuation? Girl, is the next installment called Saucer the Reckoning? You write like you're trying to win a contest at your local retirement home and still losing to Doris, who only writes in cursive, and war flashbacks. And the nerve. The aching, brittle nerve to call Harry whiny with mommy issues? Of course you'd say that. You're the same flavor of emotionally constipated that confuses emotional intelligence with weakness and trauma healing with whining. Harry went to war, buried his mother, built a life, and married a Black woman who triggers every fiber of your laced up insecurity, and still manages to outclass the entire Windsor PR machine. Meanwhile, you're cosplaying aristocracy in your backyard and confusing Amazon reviews for literary awards. And as for no woman should marry him, Rachel, sweetie, let's be clear. No man, woman, or binary entity in this dimension or the next is waking up thinking, you know who I want to model my love life after? The emotionally stunted Etsy Duchess with a god complex and a scarf collection. You're not giving wise elder. You're giving missed the call to be a 1940s home ec teacher and never recovered. You don't care that Harry's irrelevant. You're furious that he's free, that he buried the rule book you worship and danced on its ashes with a Black woman you were taught to fear. You're not just bitter, you're historically bitter. The kind of bitter that gets passed down with recipes and resentment. So here's your crown, Rachel, Queen of Delusion, Duchess of Irrelevance, and Supreme Minister of minding everybody else's business but their own. Now go back to your dollhouse, take a seat in your little tea room, and stitch together a better personality.
Ouch. Ouch. Like I said, I'm glad he's on our side. Ouch. Stitch together a better personality. Well, I guess he told her. So they're getting ready to do an auction. I did not know that. I did not know that. I want to try to go to New York so I can see the Met Gala, the Dandy collection. I have never been to the Metropolitan Museum, but I would love to see the museum. And aside from the clothes from the Met Gala, I'm sure there's a few other things I want to see. Oh, who did I miss here? Zakoy Farms, Sonia Johnson, Sharon S. Oh, there you are. There you are. Yeah, Petal showed him little mercy at all. I tell you, Petal has a way of confronting people, especially when there is a moral outrage in question. I'd love for Petal to take up a cause because she's so good at it. And that's what I miss from Petal's channel, is that she used to, there was like a lot of topics that, you know, I didn't give it much thought. And by the time Petal does her introduction to whatever it is that I didn't know, I'm all that much wiser after the fact. And then I would go and like do some research of my own. So like the whole thing with the MBE and the OBE and all that kind of stuff. Petal was the first one that I heard say that, that they take ownership of a person. When you accept that medal, you are expected to defend the monarchy. And I didn't think of it that way. I thought the honor was truly just that, but it is a way of gaining support. And it is true that some people, once you get that OBE, suddenly you get a few opportunities here and there that may not have been afforded to you before. I mean, look at Sophie Chindaku. She seemed more credible because she had an OBE. So, according to someone who accepted the award, throwing those letters behind your name can open up a few doors for you here and there. And I know some people actually have them, etched into their tombstones and such. So, I'm not knocking anybody for having it or even accepting it, but it does say British Empire. And the empire was built on, abusing native cultures, causing some native cultures to go completely extinct, along with the people. So when you accept that OBE, you're taking all of the history that comes with it. Oh, well. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Love you guys. I will see you all later. What? Oh, you're talking about the one on the screen. Yeah. You fell asleep. Oh, no. Well, I don't blame you. Sometimes I sit up here and doze off myself. So we have that in common. We have that in common. I sit up here next to you, I'm like, what was I talking about? Well, okay, I'm going to go and clear space for my wine. And I'll talk to you all, okay? I got to go clear space for my wine. Thank you, Tony.